Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in today. Glad you're here with us, and of course, we're glad to be here with you. And missed you yesterday. Thank you so much for joining in. Funny moment indeed. Could not find our book for yesterday, so had to make last minute adjustments and unfortunately could not come through. But thank you so much for being here with us today. We have our book, we have our story. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. I hope that you've had a lovely start to your week, and I hope that today goes well. I hope that the rest of the week goes well too. Out here in the Bay, it was hot yesterday. The hottest is going to be this week, and of course it's now tapering off, lowering. The heat is cooling off, so that is pretty good, but it will be still in the 70s, so I think some good weather there for some shorts and t-shirts. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. I hope that you're okay. How is it where you are? How's the weather in your area? Thank you indeed for being here with us today on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. And we bring back this one from FRANCESCA, SANNA, and KYO, MCLEAR, and this one is called If You Were a City. Yes, if you were a city, where would you be? What kind of city would you be? That is something to think about for sure. And talk about cities too. Who can you guess what city that is? And we'll be sharing, of course, before we leave. But yeah, just wondering if how if you know that city that is in the picture right now. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Who is with us on Storytime, ready to enjoy a wonderful story? Good morning to you, Ari. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Kathy, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in from out there in sunny Ohio. Good to have you here with us, and missed you yesterday. I hope that you had a great day still. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. We're reading our book with permission from the publishers Chronicle Books of San Francisco, and yeah, great books coming your way this week. Thank you indeed for being here. Thank you for your patience, and yeah, thank you for your company. Let's continue to learn together. Let's continue to be in community, and of course, to create spaces that are welcoming to all. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'll be back after this short break so we can dive into our story. Thank you indeed for being here with us on Storytime.
Hi, friends. I'm Marietta Apollonio, the author and illustrator of Jack the Library Cat, and you are watching my family's favorite Storytime with Mr. Limata. Bye!
Welcome back indeed. Thank you, Marietta Apollonia, out there in Harvard, Massachusetts, doing amazing things. And of course, do check out Jack the Library Cat from Marietta. Thank you so much for being here today on Storytime. And yeah, I cannot wait to start our story. Are you ready? All right, here we go. If You Were a City, written by KYO, illustrations by Francesca SANNA. And just to remind you too, KYO does bring us Hello Rain, which you know is a favorite here on Storytime. So you know you're in for a treat. And Francesca SANNA also participated in the creation of another favorite here on Storytime, which is oh my goodness, Like the Moon Loves the Sky. And you know that one is a classic from Henna Khan. So you know these two coming together, we have a classic right here. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. If You Were a City, from two amazing creators, of course, in conjunction with Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Thank you so much to them for always allowing us to read so many wonderful books, to share so many wonderful works that they create. Thank you indeed for being here. If you were a city, where would you be? Who would you be? What would you be like? Yeah. If You Were a City, written by KYO, illustrations by Francesca SANNA, and read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Something to think about. If you were a city, how would you be? Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Would you be bookish and proud? Bookish, proud, but slightly leaning? Does that look familiar? Sound familiar? If you were a city, how would you be? Would you be bookish, proud, but slightly leaning? Would you be buzzing, bright, and magic seeming? Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Buzzing, bright, and magic simming? Northern, blue, glacial, cold? Would that be you? Would you be weathered, warm, playful, old? Yes, if you were a city, how would you be? Would you be northern, blue, glacial, and cold? Or maybe weathered, warm, playful, and old? Or do we say rustic? If you were a city, how would you be? Ah, yes, Kathy, I am with you. Yeah, the illustrations are beautiful. Would you be a jewel city, a snow city, a toy city, or maybe a float city? If you were a city, how would you be? Would you be shiny, glassy, sleek, and tall? Or maybe wooden, squat, and nicely small? If you were a city, how would you be? If you were a city, Ari, how would you be? Would you be shiny, glassy, sleek, and tall? Or maybe wooden, squat, and nicely small? How is your city? Would you be a ghost city, a fable city, a lost city, a broken city? Oh my. If you were a city, how would you be? Would you be a ghost city, a fable city, a lost city, a broken city? Nicely small. I love it. Ah. Would you care for those from far off places? Would you offer shelter in peaceful spaces? If you were a city, how would you be? Would you care for those from far off places? Would you offer shelter in peaceful spaces? Right. Would you be shout and swagger and no hands writing? Or secret, shaded, and story hiding? Yeah. If you were a city, how would you be? Would you be shout and swagger and no hands writing? Oh, secret, shaded, and story hiding? Yeah. How would you be? Would you be a place for biking? With squares for dancing, eating, flocking? That does sound amazing, doesn't it? Sounds really nice. Yeah. Would you be a place for biking? Oh, I did forget. For scooting and walking? With squares for dancing, eating, and flocking? Ah. If you were a city, how would you be? Ah, that does sound lovely. Yeah. Would you be a place for biking, scooting, and walking? With squares for dancing, eating, flocking? Ah. Would you be a green city? Or maybe a blue city? A swirling city? A healing city? How would you be? Yeah. Would you be a healing city? A swirling city? A blue city? Or indeed a green city? Something to think about, right? Would you have great big parks for Sunday lazing? Ah, I want to be a part of that. Would you have great big parks for Sunday lazing? Yeah. And quiet roofs for starry gazing. Ah. Good morning to you, Megan. How are you doing today? Sunny out in Kentucky. Thank you for sharing. I hope you're okay. Please do take care of yourself. Would you have great big parks for Sunday lazing and quiet roofs for starry gazing? How would you be if you were a city? I must say, all these cities mentioned here sound so quaint, don't they? Sound so lovely. Would you have fruit trees for easy nibbling? Basketball courts for nighttime dribbling? How would you be if you were a city? Would you have fruit trees for easy nibbling? Basketball courts for nighttime dribbling? Yeah. Or maybe a soccer field for nighttime playing. Would you be a wet city? Would you be a dry city? Would you be a slow city? Would you be a dream city? What would you be? Would you be a wet city? Would you be a dry city? Would you be a slow city? Or maybe a dream city? Yeah. How would you be? Oh, kind of like a slow city. To relax. Would you thank your neighbors for all they share? Would you leave them room for nest and lair? Yeah, would you? Would you thank your neighbors for all they share? Would you leave them room for nest and lair? Yeah. Would you be wild, noisy, bold, and daring, edgy, tough, awake, and caring? Would you be electric, gritty, hectic, and free? That does sound appealing too. What kind of city would you be? Wild, noisy, bold, and daring, edgy, tough, awake, and caring. Electric, gritty, hectic, and free. Yeah. Ah. If you were a city, how would you be? How would you be indeed? Ah, great question. And things to consider adding to our cities. And that is the end of our story. And there are some of the cities that we get to see in the book. A big thank you indeed to Chronicle Books for allowing us to share this one here on Storytime. And of course, a big and even bigger thank you to KYO, MCLEAR, and FRANCESCA, SANNA, for this wonderful creation. And of course, KYO, MCLEAR did bring us Hello Rain, among others. And of course, FRANCESCA, SANNA did also bring us Like the Moon Loves the Sky, another beautiful book. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it got you thinking. And we'll be right back after this short break to see who is with us, and also to see if we know the answer to the question that we asked earlier on. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'll catch you on the other side of this very short message.
Hi, my name's Christine Mitchell-Adams. I'm a mama and an artist. And I believe that books are a great way for children to have access to the arts on an everyday basis, which is why I believe that programs like Storytime with Mr. Limata are so important.
Welcome back. Thank you, indeed. Chris and Mitchell-Adams out there in Vermont doing amazing things with some beautiful, beautiful art indeed. And of course, Bowden sending you love as well. Hope you're doing well out there in Burlington. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Absolutely appreciate you. If you were a city, how would you be? If you were to build a city, how would it be? What would you include? Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. And to go back to our question, what city is that? Well, if you did say St. Louis, you are very right. That is St. Louis. Thank you so much for joining in here, Storytime. Thank you for joining in Storytime. That is indeed St. Louis, and that picture is taken from the arch in St. Louis. So looking down to City Hall right there. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us. I hope you enjoyed our story. I hope it got you thinking. And of course, I hope that some of these things that have been mentioned in here, parks and, bike spaces and squares for dancing, I hope that you indeed get to get to enjoy those, or indeed that your city gets to have those as well. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and love it. Megan, one more time, thank you so much for joining in. And of course, Kathy, Megan joining us from Kentucky, where it is also sunny today. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. And Kathy and Ari joining us from out in Ohio, where it is sunny as well this morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And you said you love the pictures in the book. Yes, those illustrations look absolutely amazing. A wonderful job indeed from Francesca, SANNA. Glad you could enjoy it. I hope that you find the book also at your local library and get to enjoy it some more. Thank you indeed for being here. And Ari, you told us if you were a city, you'd be nicely small. Well, we love that. Love small cities. One of my favorites actually is a city called Lewis out in Delaware. Really cute little town, cute little place. Loved it. Definitely a slower paced. I think I like that. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Absolutely appreciate you. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day. Please don't forget to join us again tomorrow when we're back with another exciting book. We finally bring here to Storytime two together, coming to us from Brendan Wenzel, and of course reading this one with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. If you're like me and your school year just ended, I hope that you get to enjoy the rest and of course enjoy the summer. And of course, if you've been on break, I know Ari, you've been on break a minute, or if you've been on break like Oakland Unified and other school districts, well, I hope that you're enjoying your time off. Thank you indeed for being here. This has been Storytime for today. This has been Storytime on this beautiful Wednesday morning. It is beautiful out here in Oakland. It is a little bit cooler right now, and we'll be warming up into the upper 70s as the day goes. So check the weather patterns where you are. Check the weather apps to see what it'll be like where you are, so you are ready. Please don't forget your sunscreen. Don't forget that water. Please hydrate. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Biggest of hugs to each and every one of you. Have yourselves a wonderful day. I will see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Yes, inshallah, we're back with another exciting story. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Read me all the stories, some with people who look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of the stories. Read me all of the stories, some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, It brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.